Today I start my physical training program, Rebooting the Avatar. It's Monday, 7th of August 2017. I've just come back from a week in England. I was visiting my father, who's 89 years old. So it was a very relaxing week, keeping up with his slow tempo of doing everything. I didn't do any filming, I didn't do any exercise. I ate quite a bit and I drank quite a bit, and a lot of the time it was just chilling out and talking. But now I'm back in Amsterdam and I'm ready to really start vlogging on a daily basis and picking up all the themes I talked about in vlog number 2. I started today, I don't have any work today, so I started today with a couple of meditations and some visualizations, but I talk about that in another vlog. Today is for physical training. I mentioned in that second vlog that I have a childhood dream. I had a childhood dream of learning to do a backflip and a somersault from standing position, and that I think I can still learn to do that. Now, if you view reality the way I view reality, that this is virtual, it's dreamlike, and that it's not physical, it's a projection of consciousness, then this whole physical body, with the brain, with the muscles, with the organs and everything in it, is just an avatar for this virtual reality. And that's why I'm calling this series of trainings Rebooting the Avatar. Because what we've been led to believe as human beings is that we are prone and controlled by a physical process. That means we get older, our bodies age, our bodies get weaker, our bones get more brittle, our organs don't work so well, and we grow old in a predictable manner, and we die. And this is so ingrained, even in today's world, modern world, where people are living easily to 90 on a average basis, and doing marathons till really late age, and training, building muscle mass in the 60s and 70s, and people like Mick Jagger jumping around on the stage at 73. This whole aging process has changed to what it was 50 years ago, but most people still believe in that process of aging, and they still believe that they're lucky if they reach 80, let alone 90 or 100 or over 100. And I've seen it with my contemporaries, and I've seen it even with younger people, and certainly with older people who have given up on on doing anything extra with their physical bodies beyond what is expected of them. So when you reach 40, you can already start slowing down. By the time you're 50, it might not be safe to exercise anymore, and certainly not the way you used to do in your 30s. When you're 60, there's a few exceptions to the rule, but putting on muscle mass is considered really difficult because your hormones have changed, your whole body chemistry has changed. It's acceptable to put on weight after 50, to let your stomach pop out and just get fatter and slower, so that by the time you're in your 80s, you're crippled over, you've lost a few inches, and you're walking with a stick, and your days are numbered. Now, I don't believe in that, and I don't subscribe to that way of aging. So, I'm going to put this to the test for myself, although it's not just a test, it's part of my my belief system. I don't feel like people tell me I should feel at my age. I feel as young, as capable as I was in my 20s and 30s. And I didn't train then either. And I haven't trained much in my later life. I did 5 weeks of intense physical training about 8 to 9 years ago now, including trampolining. And that's kept me going to this day. But now I'm feeling it's time to upgrade this body of mine. And that's why I call this rebooting the avatar. Let's do something I've never done before. Let's take it all a step higher. And this is where my philosophy comes in, my understanding and my belief in what physicality is. I believe we all have a particular general potential as physically human bodies. And you see that potential when you look at gymnasts, other sporters, anybody who's excelled in any one area of physical movement, dancers, and the young guys who are doing the parkour and free running, who are springing around and flipping as if it's second nature to them, as if gravity does not exist, which it doesn't, but that's another story. And you see this potential for the human body, and the only reason we don't reach that potential, and only some people reach that potential, is that most of us don't ever try. I believe we all use our bodies to a potential level of maybe 10, maybe 20%, and you can do a lot with 10 to 20%. We never get to the 100%, and that's for all age groups. And when you get to 50, 60, 70, that 10% is still what we apply in our lives, but it's a lower level of activity than the 10% of somebody who's younger. But we're still only doing the 10 or 20%. And I believe if you train at any age, and let's say 60, my age, and you train to 50%, your 50% could actually make you fitter, stronger, more agile, more flexible, more capable than you were when you were 20 and only using 10%. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me. So I am going to explore my potential, my physical potential. I am only using 10-15% at this moment. I live an active life, which keeps me pretty much in shape, but not the way I want to be. So I'm going to up that level. I'm going to explore and discover what my potential can actually be. And I am not going to be dissuaded by what people say I shouldn't do for safety reasons. I don't believe my bones are any more brittle than they've ever been. I don't believe my back's weaker just because I'm a little older and it's not capable to stretch my muscles anymore to get any more flexible. But this is what I'm going to do. And I've got the goal now, and I'm making it a serious goal, of learning, finally, to do a backflip. And I've looked at myself and thought, okay, what's lacking in my physical condition at this moment that I need to improve to be able to do that? One is strength. I'm fairly strong, but I've lost muscle mass. My arms and shoulders aren't what they used to be. I can maybe manage 20, 25 push-ups in one go. 10 years ago I could do 50, maybe more, with a little training. And I'm not as flexible. I can't touch my knees with my head anymore. I can just about manage to touch my toes with my arms. My condition is pretty average, considering I don't train. It's pretty good. I can do a 5-mile run, but that's my limit without stopping. So what I'm looking at is if I wanted to do a backflip, I would have to improve my strength. I would have to improve my flexibility, and not just in my arms, but also in my wrists and in the flexibility in my back, so I can lean backwards a lot further than I can now. In my shoulders need more strength, so I can actually take my weight on my arms and not on my head. And once I've built up the flexibility and the strength in key parts of my body that are used when you do a backflip, then I can start learning the techniques, because most of it is technique. I know this from when I was in my 20s, that I should have been able, even on the trampoline, I started on a trampoline, should have been able to do somersaults quite easily. But I didn't have the technique. And only when I discovered the technique was it very simple to actually do it on a trampoline. And I could do it from the side of the trampoline as well, so there was no spring involved. It was just pure physical technique, body technique, and I was able to land on my feet in the middle of the trampoline. After that, I tried it on the mat, and I freaked myself out and tensed up at the wrong moment, lost the technique and landed on my head. And I haven't done it since. I haven't tried it since. I think I scared myself to death. But the technique is really, really important, and it's more than half of the ability to do this sort of thing. But that's my goal now. That's my goal. I want to see if I can get to there, if I can get to learn a backflip at my age, and to see how long it takes. That's my goal for this year, the rest of this year. If I manage this before the end of the year, I'll be a happy man. And it's something that most people at my age will not even attempt or even dream of attempting. So I'm putting myself out on a limb here. But for me, it's not. For me, it seems like something I can train to do just like anybody can train to do it. So this is going to be really fun. and eye-opening. So that's the goal. Today I start. I have to build up in training. I realise already my condition is quite low. So I've got to build it up slowly, to build up the strength and flexibility so I can keep taking it step further until I feel ready to actually start applying the techniques. That's the goal. That's the plan. And now what I'm going to do is take you through my training procedure. So that's my training program. Exercises, stretching, push-ups, pull-ups, back stretches, leg lifts, sit-ups, dips. That should all combine over the next few weeks, maybe a couple of months, to get myself into a strong enough condition to be able to start learning some techniques. But that's it for this vlog. Trying to get my training clothes on and start exercising. See you in the next one.